It's a story as old as time, right? Man versus machine. But what happens when that sci-fi trope gets real? Like really real. With millions of dollars on the line and the pride of our entire species hanging in the balance? Yeah, things get interesting. So let's break down what actually happens when this epic conflict plays out for real. Because once you peel back the layers of a huge MrBeast spectacle like this one, you find something fascinating, a really raw psychological experiment. The question isn't just, hey, who's gonna win? It's much, much deeper than that. What is going on inside the human brain when it's forced to compete against something that feels zero pressure, zero fatigue, and absolutely no fear? Well, the answer isn't in the muscles. It's not in the mechanics. It's hidden in the mind. The key to this whole thing is tangled up in the complex, sometimes fragile, and, as we'll see, surprisingly tough wiring of the human brain. So, to really get into this, we're gonna break down this incredible series of challenges. They pitted some of the world's most elite humans against some seriously advanced robots, all to answer one pretty dramatic question. Yeah, they went there. Right from the jump, this whole thing is framed as way more than a game. It's like a referendum on human relevance. I mean, can you imagine the weight of that? The idea that how you do represents the entire species, that is a massive psychological burden before a single car is flipped or a single ball is kicked. Okay, so to get a handle on the mental battle, we first have to understand the battlefield itself. Let's decode the arena and break down the mechanics of these challenges, just to see what the humans were really up against. First up, the strongman challenge. Now, at first glance, it looks like a test of pure, raw strength. But the robot's real advantage isn't just its power, it's the complete and total absence of fatigue. While Thor, the human, is dealing with muscle failure and his grip literally slipping, the robot is just executing its program perfectly every time. The real fight for Thor isn't just against the machine, it's against his own body giving out. Or take a look at the golf challenge. This was just a brilliantly designed pressure cooker. It wasn't just about skill. See, each new target wasn't just farther away. It was an escalation of the mental stakes. Every single miss just compounded the psychological weight on the next swing, turning what should be a physical task into an almost purely mental one. And this right here is the heart of the conflict. The robot is the perfect baseline. It's consistent, it's predictable, and it's completely immune to things like pressure or anxiety. What that does is it lets us isolate the human variable, that messy, unpredictable, and honestly fascinating mix of skill, emotion, and biology that makes us who we are. All right, so now that we've got the lay of the land, let's go deeper. We're gonna shift from the external challenges to the internal battles raging inside the contestants' heads, because this is where the competition was truly won and lost. This moment, this is so critical. When Adam, a professional kicker, misses his first shot, and misses it badly, his response says everything. That's awkward. It's fine. But you know, and he knows, it is absolutely not fine. This is the first crack in the psychological armor of a pro. What we're seeing here is a classic psychological principle called cognitive dissonance. His brain is literally struggling with two conflicting ideas at the same time. His core identity, I'm an elite professional, and the cold hard reality of what just happened, I just shanked that kick horribly. That awkward feeling he mentions, that's the friction of his own mind working against itself. And then this happens. Boom. MrBeast just pours gasoline on that internal fire by adding this massive layer of external social judgment. Suddenly, it's not just a personal failure anymore. The stakes have just been publicly jacked up to an impossible level, and you can just feel that internal stress multiply by 10. So you see, it's crucial to get that these competitors weren't just dealing with one simple type of pressure. It was this complex cocktail of their own performance anxiety, that intense social judgment from everyone watching, a deep-seated fear of failure, and, of course, the constant ticking of the clock. And we can't forget the powerful link between the physical and the mental. When Thor's hands started slipping on that rope, it wasn't just a physical problem. You see, physical fatigue drains our mental resources, which makes it way harder to stay focused and rational. His slipping grip was pretty much a physical sign of his slipping mental control. So, with all of this insane pressure, why did some of the humans crack while others seem to thrive? Well, the answer lies in a kind of hidden code buried deep within our own minds. Let's try and decode it. So to really understand what's going on, we can use a great framework from the psychologist Daniel Kahneman. He basically said we have two systems of thought. Think of system 1 as your fast, intuitive autopilot, and system 2 is your slow, deliberate, logical pilot. Now here's the kicker. Under extreme pressure, our emotional panic system 1 can actually hijack the controls from our rational system 2. And we see these two systems go head-to-head right here in the competition. For the kicker, that first bad miss triggered a full-on system 1 hijack. Panic and embarrassment took over and just derailed his professional technique. But in contrast, look at the race car driver George. After a bad turn, his logical system 2 pilot stayed in control. He managed to tame that instinctual panic, allowing him to recover, adapt, and ultimately win. And there were other invisible forces pulling the strings here too. You have to wonder, could the basketball legend Manu Ginobili's misses be a case of what's called ego depletion, where his mental gas tank was just empty after making the first few tough shots? And what about loss aversion? That's the psychological theory that says the pain of losing feels way more powerful than the joy of winning. The fear of losing to a machine, that is a uniquely powerful and distracting motivator. So, after digging through all of this, what does this amazing experiment really tell us about humanity's edge in this whole man versus machine showdown? Well, let's start with the bottom line. The final score was 4-3. Humans won. But man, it was razor thin. A single different outcome in any one of those events, and the robots would have taken the day. Which leads us to a really fascinating question. The humans were flawed. They felt pressure. They got tired. The robots were perfect, flawless executing machines. So, in a direct contest between imperfection and perfection, how on earth did imperfection win? The answer is that our advantage was never about matching the robot's perfection. It was in all the things a robot can't do. It was in our adaptability, like George using his rational mind to recover from a mistake. It was in the raw power of belief, which can sometimes override that panicked autopilot. It was about turning that crazy cocktail of pressure into fuel instead of poison. And ultimately, it was about creative problem solving, not just following a program. And that leaves us with this powerful final thought from the video itself. One day, robots will overtake us, but that day is not today. What this whole thing revealed is that sometimes our greatest weaknesses, our messy emotions, our imperfections, can actually become our greatest strengths. For now, the human mind remains the one variable a machine just can't predict. The only question is, for how much longer?